Okay. Okay, guys, we're here with Amy Street, who is an incredible builder and persona figurehead in the space. And she's part of Rove Worlds, which I'm sure everybody here is familiar with. So, Amy, why don't you give us a little background about yourself?
Yeah, hey guys, thanks for being here. My name is Amy Street, and I have been in the Solana ecosystem for a few years now. Big innovator, Maxi, and Solana definitely has a lot of room for play in that world. Came into the space from the music industry and was really excited to tap into this playground that is Web3 and honestly Solana. And I now am the head of growth for Rove World. It's been a journey going from advisor to strategist to a full-time with them and eventually partner. So very excited.
Wow. Yeah, you've had an interesting journey from being a teacher to getting into podcasting when you got into Web3 and being a huge persona in Twitter Spaces. So I'm curious, tell us a little bit about kind of that journey and then what made you so excited to get into Rove World?
Yeah, so I, like most things that have happened in my life, getting into Web3 was a giant happy accident. I kind of came into the space as a meme and was a podcaster for Spotify and was looking for new audience, and Twitter Spaces was booming and crypto Twitter was booming, and I didn't know that those things coexisted. And a bunch of Solana NFT maxis came and took over one of my podcasting Twitter Spaces, and they onboarded me to Solana. After a few weeks, I had done a decent amount of research because I was making friends with these people. I wanted to have more material to make jokes with people in my Twitter Spaces, to be honest, about NFTs and crypto, and I really saw this incredible moment that I couldn't believe that I was blind to, that Web3 opened up, and that was this ability to bridge the entertainment world that I have been so intimately working with, both through the podcasting world and the music industry as a ghostwriter for the last decade. I've seen the ins and outs of how ugly the music industry can be. I've had friends in the film industry, and I know how miserable it is, and the real dark parts that we don't talk about that Hollywood glazes over. And I was so excited by the idea of using crypto and NFTs and Web3 technology to aid some of these flaws in the entertainment world. So while I didn't take on a job initially, I was like just rooting myself into the weeds of it, trying to find out as much as possible and find people who saw that same vision that I saw when I initially got into the space. Like, how can we fix real world problems? And how can we not only fix problems, but like create really incredible experiences for people with Web3 technology? And right now it was so fun and interesting because all there was monkey pictures and speculative assets and no realized utility. And it was fun. It was a playground. And I ended up meeting Jason, who is the CEO and founder of Rove. And he was at a New York hacker house for Solana. My best friend, Wayne Newton, who's a one-of-one artist in the space, called me while I was sick with food poisoning and said, Amy, you got to get out of your hotel room. I know you're not feeling well. You got to come to Chelsea Market, meet this guy. You guys are on the exact same page. You got to find it in you to come talk to this guy. And I was so mad at him, but I dragged myself out of bed. I sat down at Chelsea Market and I listened to what Jason was building for the last 2 years with Rove World and what his vision was for this holistic view and creating a network for brands, for companies, for artists, for athletes, for anybody that has a fan base and that wants to break down that glass wall between them and their audience, their community, their fans. And how Web3 tech that he was building with this mobile app, and then as the first product of many that he plans to put out through Rove, was going to help be the first big push in that direction. And I looked at Jason at Chelsea Market and I said, I will set my company to the side and I will work for you full time if you'll have me. And it's been happily ever since, and it's just getting crazier by the day.
Wow. I love the vision. The vision is so big. It's about really bridging the gap. And we hear bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 a lot, but I think it does take actual projects to go out and put the boots on the ground and get the real people, put the technology in their hands. And I really want to get into that, and I want to hear how you're approaching. But I'm curious, just to give a little bit of context, what are kind of you referenced the dark things in the entertainment industry that, musicians are facing. So what are the kinds of problems that, can be solved by blockchain ticketing?
Yeah, so blockchain ticketing is one of our products that we have in the Rove World app right now. It's the first product that we've released, and it is solving an obvious problem that we see in the concert space, the event space, where events are getting massively botted. They are the scalping problem, and tickets aren't getting in the hands of real fans. And while there's some parts of that that's woven into the name of the game, there's a lot of people that are sick of it, and when they're hosting their own events, like artists that we've spoken to that are launching a solo event that's just not adjacent to a festival or a concert or whatever, and they want to do their own thing, it's getting botted to death, it's getting scalped, and the people who really care about them, that have been there for them, they have no real way of making sure these tickets are getting in the hands of the people that are going to be there. And then some people aren't even showing up and are getting to experience, and then they're losing fans. It is this ugly cycle, and there's been a lot of talk about Web3 ticketing, and it's very exciting for us that it's a hot topic now, and we see other people are getting into this, but we've been building this mobile app for 2 years, and we've been working on BD too, so excited to not only go after that ticketing piece of it, but the bigger vision where ticketing just acts as a singular product in the scope of the entire network that we're creating for loyalty rewards and breaking down that glass wall between fan and artist.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. I'm curious now, maybe a little bit, you can talk how are you bridging that gap? What is kind of the strategy there?
Yeah, so instead of getting into the weeds of telling you the nitty gritty of the technology, I'd love for you guys to go check it out. But I like to kind of story tell to do this in a way that you can better understand it. And if there's a pop artist who has a huge fan base, she has a ton of different verticals that she is approaching through her sales, and none of them are being tracked with data, and that's insane. You think about Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Kanye, whoever, they are putting out records and they're selling that, and that's siloed. They're putting out tickets, and that's in one lane, and that's siloed. They have VIP experiences, and those are siloed. They have merch, and that's siloed, and you're not tracking the data of the people that are buying into what you're doing. And to us, this is not only a huge opportunity for them to really connect and build a stronger fan base, but also it's so sad to see that we haven't been able to do that yet. And blockchain technology is the only thing that makes this possible. So if we put all of this data on chain and we track it all, and we're able to token gate loyalty rewards for these fans and we give ownership to these artists, athletes, brands, and they're not only getting rewards that they could spend within their world, they're getting kickback credits off-chain right now that can be used not only in their world of this individual pop artist, but maybe for this conference that's also in the app, or maybe this brand that's just put out this new fragrance, or maybe that, like, it's all these different things. Reward systems right now are siloed, and in an attention economy, it's impossible to keep people focused on your brand alone. If you think about all the things you love as an individual, you aren't just a big Tommy Hilfiger fan. Like, you're not just thinking about Tommy Hilfiger's clothes all day. You're thinking about going to Starbucks. You're thinking of, because that's what your place of choice for coffee. You're thinking about this artist that you're trying to get tickets for. You're thinking about this streetwear brand that's launching this new thing. You're thinking about all of these different things because that's what makes you you. And if you were able to get rewards from all these different things that you love, that all are a shared network, that is a holistic view of rewards, that is not only going to drive individual sales for these companies, it's also going to help fix problems and break down that wall between the fans, and it's just going to help the whole entertainment and brand world in a crazy and interesting way. So we're attacking this from a social-fi elephant. We're attacking this from a ticketing side. We're gamified experiences through sales, both phygital and digital. We want to make this, and it's a slow build. So many people have known Rove World to just be this ticketing app built on Solana. And while we love being the ticketing app built on Solana, and we've ticketed for Claynosaurs, and we've done some cool loyalty rewards for people that have gone to a couple of their events, and you get entered into a raffle. People have won a Claynosaur because we were able to track, they went to 2 different Claynosaurs events. And because you went to both of their events, you get to be entered into a raffle, and you get those cool rewards. Mm-hmm. And we're able to take that to artists and say, look at this cool thing we did with this animation project built on the blockchain, and we're doing this in such a small way right now. Think of all the ways we could do this for you. And artists, athletes, brands, and they're all how soon can we start? And it is so exciting that people are so hungry to get involved. Mm-hmm. People want to experience their fans in an intimate way. And the bigger you get, the harder it is to do that.
Amazing. That is an incredible amount of utility that I'm hearing, and I'm loving the larger vision. I think, it's really exciting to explore the way that blockchain can really empower a relationship between, a creator, a public figure, and their fans. So that's really cool. But I'm curious now, as you're mentioning brands as well. So we have seen some brands come into the Web3 space and kind of just sort of flop it, right? So I'm curious, what is your experience with working with brands, and then how is Rove sort of hand-holding and guiding into getting into Web3 in a way that's different?
Yeah, our Twitter intern is pretty savage and put together a video of Sarah McLachlan playing in the background and watching all these brands that went to zero that came into the Web3 space. And put that out there. And it's honestly, I don't think it's that devastating, but it is all data points of why things aren't working. And it goes back into what I was speaking about when things are too siloed, especially in this space, drop the Web 2 regular brand world. If you're just in this Web 3 space, attention economy is everything. Mm-hmm. And if you aren't the thing, and you're not giving instant utility, you're not giving continued utility, and it's not making people money, people don't care. And so we've seen these big brands come in, we've seen big celebrities come into the space, and it's that fear of missing out and a little tinge of, for lack of a better term, ignorance of people not wanting to miss the boat. So they're getting in too early. They are not getting a backing of people who understand the industry, who understand the technology, that are going to help build infrastructure that's going to last a long time. And some of them cared about that and were devastated to watch their token or their NFT go from something to nothing overnight. And some of them just wanted to extract liquidity. And both are hard to watch, but we have been building Rove World since Solana was a 55 ranked token, from the sidelines, taking notes about what's working, what's not, what do people like, what do people want, what is the feedback. We're sitting in Twitter spaces, we're sitting on podcasts, we're listening to what people's feedback is. This isn't working because of this isn't working because of this, and we're cross-referencing what we're trying to build, and are thinking about, okay, is it just like token gated access to me as an individual in a Discord? Like, or is that like thinking way too small? Is it like I own this and I get to go to a music festival and I show them that I have this pass and this app and I get specialty merch from being at this, and we help set that up and the technology allows it? Is it the metadata changes when you, like it's an all access pass that's free for their entire community, and then buying certain things within their world updates the metadata, and we're able to track how that fan has interacted with that brand. And I think that it's okay that we've thought small and we were kind of Neanderthals going into the space and we let people trial and error. But we really want to be the thought leaders and the builders that can scoop people up and say, this is the infrastructure you can use. This is how we've tested it in the Web3 space. This is the bigger vision, the different sections of the company, and how we are going to support you. As an artist, as a brand, as a company, you can't also be an NFT founder. We see, like, we see people in the space, they can't even keep their own job. They can't even keep their own Web2 job. You have to be all in or nothing. So why are we expecting Beyonce to be able to be an NFT founder? It's absolutely ridiculous. It just made no sense from the jump. So we have said, you're not going to be a founder. You're just going to you're going to sell the same things, you're going to give the same experiences, but we're just going to help you track it, and we're going to help brainstorm ways to create interpersonal relationships and experiences with the people that are investing in you most. So that's the vision, and we're really excited about the future. This has been probably the most crazy week that we've had as a company. Jason is actually supposed to be speaking today, and I'm hoping he's sleeping because he didn't make it here today. So I'm stepping in for the boss man, and because crazy news has happened this week for us that has jump-started our stuff.
News, tell us.
Yeah, so I can't speak much to it. I'm happy I've only got 1:30 left on the clock. But this week, there's some pretty devastating news that happened with Stars Arena, a social app built on Avalanche. And we believe in a multi-chain future. We're built on Solana, we're built on Near, and we've been talking to a bunch of L1s, Avalanche being one that we've been speaking to as well. And Stars Arena had some pretty devastating stuff with some bad actors. And Jason's been pretty active in the SocialFi world, and as of yesterday, we have acquired Stars Arena, which is one of the biggest SocialFi apps with 150,000 active users, and we will be integrating that SocialFi element into the greater vision of Rove starting today.
Wow!
Yeah.
What incredible news!
Yeah, more to come officially on the Twitter from Rove today, from Stars Arena today, and but Jason put out the official announcement that he's CEO, and more on the team to come from that, and we're ready to run into the fire.
Incredible.
Yeah, That's it. Thank you. And can we give a big hand for Kari for stepping in? She's Bangers is.
It's so fun.
I saw her on the way out the door, and I said, "Do you want to get on stage with me?" So she was a big part of the beginning of Rove, and I had her on my early community team, and so she sees the vision, and what she's building is incredible, and I just am so thankful for her stepping in today.
Thanks. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy we could do this together. This is so fun.
Great. Thanks, guys.